What is good, Joe? Welcome back to the Herro. Welcome back to a brand new video. Man, we are down 3-1, guys. Honestly, I was gonna record this video. I was midway through recording a video after the third quarter ended. I was like, you know what, it's a wrap, blah blah blah. And then we started to come back, and I was like, hold on, let me just record this after the game. And then it just turned out to be a fake comeback. But it was ruined by the refs, to be honest. Some bogus flagrant one on Bam. I don't even know what that was. Bam wasn't even looking at Tatum. Tatum landed on his foot after he put up a shot for whatever reason. After the foul was called. I mean, that's just unnecessary by him. So I don't really know why Bam gets the flagrant, but that's whatever, to be honest. The refs have never been on our side. But it's not about the refs. I'm stop making about the refs. Make sure y'all drop a like, subscribe, comment down below if you guys are are new. If you guys have thoughts on this game, comment that down below. Subscribe if you guys are new. Let's get right into it. So yeah, we're down 3-1, and as we know, 3-1 comebacks don't really happen, every day of the week. It's very, very rare that people come back from 3-1 down and teams come back from 3-1 down, and for that reason, this series is very close to being done. And to me, I really don't think that we have a shot at winning the series anymore. Did I ever think that we did? Maybe I was trying to give myself false hope after game 2. Going into the series, I didn't really have high hopes. I'm not gonna lie. After game 2, though, I was like, oh, maybe they can have a chance. But after these last 2 games, it's just a really long shot for me. I'm just losing belief in this team, and I don't know if you guys are too, but that's just how I feel right now. Maybe it's because we lost. Maybe that has a lot to do with it. But nonetheless, I'm still very disappointed in a lot of these players, and I have a lot to talk about in this game, man. I have a lot to say. So you guys are in for an absolute treat in this video. Where do I even start? The offense in these last 2 games, you're not going to win games putting up below 90 points in an NBA game. Last game, it was 84. This game, it was, I think it was 89 or something like that. It was just not great at all. It was 88, not 89. And yeah. The offense, it was just absolutely abysmal. Game 3, we played terribly, and I think we lost in a lot worse fashion in game 3, and I think it was because of the fact that we got out hustled and outworked and stuff. But tonight, I didn't really think that we played too badly. The rebounding battle, they only out rebounded us by 4. We turned the ball over a fair few times. I would have liked us to have less turnovers, and I would have liked us to not foul as much. We fouled them pretty often, and they were able to get some free throws off of that. They shot 16 free throws to our 9. So yeah, I would have liked us to not have turned the ball over and fouled more. And I think those are the only 2 really mistakes that we made throughout the game. And maybe we played zone a little bit too much, but the big story was the fact that we were just missing every single 3 we took. We shot 27% from 3. Honestly, that percentage was even lower, for the majority of the game. But Caleb Martin hit a 3 at the end, and Patty Mills hit a 3 to close out, and so did Bam. So because of those few 3s that we hit, just garbage time 3s, the percentage went up. I'm pretty sure it was below 20% for the most of the game. So that's that's the whole story. That's just completely unacceptable, as we all know. You can't shoot that bad of a percentage from 3. The Celtics didn't even do that well, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie. This might sound like coping, but I don't really see a lot from the Celtics to make me believe, oh, we got outplayed. We just got we just got out talented, if you want to say that. Derek White had 38 points. You just tip your cap off to him, because he just made a bunch of tough shots. A couple of shots were open, but a lot of his shots were side step back 3s. He was driving and dunking over people. It's just not easy shots for Derek White that he made, and he made them, so you got to give him credit. But yeah, I don't think the Celtics were amazing tonight. I just think that we beat ourselves, and we shot ourselves in the foot by missing all those open 3s. We generated a ton of open looks. I can't be mad at the looks that we got. I really can't. We just didn't knock them down. We just didn't take advantage of what the Celtics were giving us, and we were turning the ball over on top of that, and we were fouling. So we were just kind of just doing it to ourselves. We were. It's not like we It's not like we just completely got flat out outcoached or outplayed, or they were just scheming us up. Like, it wasn't like that. You know, it was. I think we defended extremely well. Even though Derek White had a good game, I really did think we defended them really well. Apart from the few possessions that we went zone, I didn't really like that. But most of the game, I thought we had a good energy, a good disposition. I thought we defended well, and I thought on offense we were generating pretty good looks. But if you're just missing a bunch of shots, it's just not going to really work out for you. Like I said this before in the series, your margin of error with this series is so small because you're missing Jimmy Butler, you're missing Herro, you're missing Josh Richardson. Duncan Robinson is like 30%. Like, he's nowhere close to being healthy. You were missing DeLon Wright the other day. Like, your margin of error in this series is so small because the Celtics have 10 times the talent that we do on paper right now. They have so much more talent than we do. Like, you cannot afford to make mistakes, and you cannot afford to miss these many looks, and not take it. You cannot afford to not take advantage of the looks that they're giving you. I mean, we got a ton of great looks tonight, and maybe the game would have been different if we knocked those down, but you can't miss those many shots, man. Those many good looks. You cannot do that. Like, it's just, again, you're just killing yourself at this point. Like, you can't do anything about that besides just be like, oh, what were we doing missing all those threes? So like I said, the margin of error is just super small in a series like this, and because of that, like, any mistake you make, these silly turnovers that we have, I mean, Herro with the turnovers was ridiculous. I don't know what he was thinking on half of those. I think he had 5 or 6 turnovers. Like, he was abysmal tonight with the ball. Like, and Caleb Martin was like, in the fourth quarter he was making a couple of shots in garbage time, but before that, like, he was just a negative. Jaime, Jovic, we didn't get anything from those two. And again, these guys are still young. I'm not blaming them. They don't really deserve a lot. It's not really fair to blame them, but we don't really have anybody else. So because of that, I have to look at them. But, I don't have... I mean, there was discourse on social media today. People were talking about, is Jovic untouchable? Is Jaime untouchable? Bro, you know what? Like, I'm at the point. I'm going to go on a rant right now. Everybody that I'm about to blame right now deserves some part of the blame. Because this whole season, I mean, none of us are stupid. Like, we can see the season is about to end soon. We don't have the personnel. We don't have the team. We just don't have, the guys right now to pull off this upset. We do not. We just don't. Maybe for a game or two, like if we won another game, whatever. But we're gonna lose this series. Like I'm very, very, sure that this series is gonna end soon for Miami. So just looking at everything, just retrospecting on everything, like, the front office deserves majority of the blame for me, and the team deserves majority of the blame for me for not taking the regular season seriously. I mean, I understand we had a few injuries, but every team dealt with injuries, man. I mean, the Sixers missed Joel Embiid. Like, everybody was dealing with some sort of injury here and there. Memphis missed guys, the Sixers missed guys, the Lakers missed guys. Like a lot of teams were just missing players left and right, and because of that, I don't really want to use injuries as an excuse. They did not take the regular season seriously. I mean, losing to Washington, we lost to Washington. Like, I don't think injuries is an excuse for that, because some of the games you lost towards the end of the season, we were fully healthy. We lost to Washington, we lost to Dallas, we lost to Indiana. Like, a lot of these games down the stretch that we lost, we were completely healthy. We had all our guys. We lost to Philly, I believe, as well. No, I'm not talking about the play-in. I'm talking about in the regular season. We lost to Philly. Like, we just lost a bunch of games that we should have won, and we would have placed ourselves in such a better spot. I mean, being the 4-5 seed matchup right now, I mean, that you would be able to be playing either Orlando or Cleveland, or if you were the 7 seed, then you would be playing New York. You would be playing Indiana or Milwaukee. Like, you put yourself in a position where you had to play the only team in the East that that has been amazing this season. The Knicks have been good, and the Knicks are a good team. I'm not saying the Knicks are not a good team. I'm saying it's a lot easier to beat the Knicks than it is the Boston Celtics. That's a fact. But we put ourselves in this position, so we only have ourselves to blame for putting ourselves in this position where we have this matchup. And yes, it's unfortunate that we have injuries in this series. We had our two guys, Jimmy Butler, Terry Rozier. They both went down. our point guard, our star player, both missed the series or probably will miss the series. That's unfortunate. I get that. And would we have won with Jimmy? We don't know. But again, I'm not using that as a cop. I'm not using that as a cop out. I mean, next season, if they're like, oh, we would have, made a run with Jimmy, no, that's unacceptable. And I don't want to let anybody off the hook for thinking like that, because that is not okay. I understand he was not playing, and maybe you guys thought that the series might have been different with him. But regardless if he beat Boston or not, this team was not winning a championship. Even fully healthy, they were not. So we play basketball, we watch games, and the ultimate goal for every single player in that locker room, and the front office member, the coaching staff, the water boy, the anybody, the guy selling popcorn in the stands, anybody who's associated with the Miami Heat, the goal of the team is to win championships. And so far we have not won a single championship since 2013. And that's harsh to say because we went to the finals a few times, it's fine, but we have not improved our team from those finals runs. In 2021, we got worse. This year, we got worse. Because the front office thinks it's so replicable to just do, the impossible twice. Come back from, being an 8 seed all the way, make it all the way to the finals, having your role players shooting generational from 3-point range. People think it's sustainable. It's not. I'm tired of being the team that has to scratch and claw and that goes into every game at a talent disadvantage and has to make it up for it in the coaching department, or with the star player getting, insanely hot like Jimmy, or with a role player just shooting a crazy percentage, because that's not sustainable, guys. Please just wake up and realize this. We're not playing sustainable basketball, and we have not been playing sustainable basketball for a few years now. 2022 was our best shot to win it. We were the 1 seed. We were playing really well. 2023, we were the 8 seed. And, I don't think many people thought we would get to the finals. We did that. And it was really fun. It was a fun run. But you have to build on that. And we didn't in the offseason. We did not. We really, really did not. So I don't want to hear anything about, if we had Jimmy, would have won. No, bro. That's not the point. The point is the front office failed. The team failed. There's a lot of guys I'm about to get on. The only player that I think is absolved from any blame this whole series is Bam Adebayo. He has been phenomenal the whole series. I have nothing bad to say about him. He's been excellent. I had no doubts that he'd be excellent. Everybody who watches this channel knows that Bam is my boy. He's my guy, and I will vouch for Bam. Unless he's playing poorly, which he is not this series. He's been playing excellently. I have nothing bad to say about Bam Adebayo. He's been playing hard. He's been playing with effort. Apparently, he hosted a team meeting where he was challenging them. He's been doing everything right. Everybody else has to look at themselves, man. There was discourse on Twitter. People were like, oh my gosh, do we trade Nico? Do we trade Jaime? Like, bro, if your name is not Jimmy Butler or Bam Adebayo, you can go. I will drive you to the airport myself. I will take you in my car, pack your bags for you, take them downstairs, open my trunk, put the bags in the trunk, open your passenger seat door for you, drive you to Miami airport right now. I'll fly you out to whatever destination you can go to. Nobody is safe on this team besides Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Nobody should be. That's not how you win championships, by holding on to guys for too long. We should have traded Tyler Herro. This is nothing against Tyler Herro. We should have traded Tyler Herro a couple years ago. The Jazz Donovan Mitchell thing didn't work out. The Damian Lillard thing didn't work out. Kevin Durant, okay, I understand. There's no way they would have taken Tyler Herro for Kevin Durant. That's fine. Tyler Herro, no shots to him. No disrespect to him whatsoever. I think he's going to have a really good career. I think he's going to be a really good player. It's just not the right, fit or the right time with the Heat. His skill set is fine, but for him, a guy who wants the ball in his hands, he's not good enough to have the ball in his hands, for the Heat to be making deep playoff runs and championship runs and winning a championship. So it's not just Tyler Herro, though. I don't think Caleb Martin should return. I don't think I think it's a big question mark if we even see some of the young guys. I mean, I have nothing against the young guys. I think they're going to be good, but they're young guys for a reason. I mean, I love Nico, and Nico's my guy. I've been preaching about Nico since he got drafted, but I really don't think that if a star player is out there, you should be thinking about, we have Nikola Jovic, or we have Tyler Herro, we have Jaime Jaquez. Like, no, bro. Send that in. Like, and people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, you're trying to do what the Phoenix Suns did with Book, Beal, and Durant. Like, bro, that's not the same at all. First of all, the Suns were constructed terribly from top to bottom. They put 3 guys who all played and had the same exact play style. They all played the same. They all were score first players. They all looked to take a bunch of shots. Nobody was, could facilitate. Nobody could defend. If you put a guy like Donovan Mitchell next to Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, you have a defender, you have playmaker, you have a scorer, you can still probably keep Terry Rozier in that deal. You still have your point guard. I mean, I think it's vastly different, and the biggest difference is you have Eric Spoelstra. So, again, people are gonna, this is not even what I should be talking about right now. I understand that, but it's just something I have to get off my chest because it's been the point of discourse for the whole day today. Coming back to the game itself, you're not gonna win games shooting this poorly from 3, and we have been relying on our 3-point shooting for way too long. Do I blame the Heat for taking all those 3s today? No, because people will be like, oh, why did we take so many 3s? We legitimately did not have anybody to get to the rim. Nobody could get to the rim. We don't have our 2 best rim attackers. We don't have Terry. We don't have Jimmy. So it's like, what do y'all want us to do? We're taking 3s that were given. We had open shots. We missed them. It happens, but it shouldn't happen because these guys should be making open 3s. It's like it's like when you play 2K, right? And you run out of VC after you upgrade a player. Like, you upgrade a player's attributes. Like, you upgrade their inside scoring or something like that. You want to upgrade, their driving layup or driving dunk now, and you can't because you've used all your VC. Like, it's like that. And it's like we ran out of VC in game 2, and in game 3 and game 4, they just decided to just shoot bricks again. It's just frustrating because these are shots that we've seen them make. But yeah, I think there has to be wholesale changes in the offseason. There really has to. Like, I don't really see how you can just bring back this roster. It's inexcusable, to be honest. Like, I'm tired of finishing 8th place in the regular season. I want to be top 3. I want to be top 4. I want to get home court advantage. I want to, be one of the top dogs in the conference, man. Like, we put ourselves at a disadvantage every single game as far as talent is concerned, and we are in a lot of games because we play hard and we have the best coach in basketball, and we have guys who will elevate their game sometimes, but all of that, it's so taxing on these players because it's like a lot of players will play above what we even think of them. Like last year when guys were just making shots everywhere, like we couldn't have imagined that would be sustainable, right? Like, that's not who they are. Like, they were that for a couple of series here and there, but you need better players. You need a better talented roster. That's why, I want the Heat to make some moves. I'm not really sure what else they can do. I mean, they traded Kyle Lowry. I don't know if they can trade Duncan Robinson. I don't know if they want to trade Duncan Robinson. I mean, he was an absolute no-shot. I mean, it's not really his fault. He's not healthy at all, but he was not contributing anything in the series. And I don't really know. He's like, him and Tyler are the only contracts that you can really trade away that will give you back a star player who's making similar type of money. Like, I'm not really sure what the Heat will want to do in the offseason, but I think they have to make some changes, like big changes. I'm not just talking about adding a vet minimum guy. You need to shake up this team. Like, this has to be, they have to be better, man. They have to. Like, I blame this on them. I blame this on the fact that we finished last place in the East. Like, we set ourselves up for this matchup in the first round against the Boston Celtics. It was going to be tough regardless if we were healthy or not, but we made it so that we had to, play them without our best player and our starting point guard. So, honestly, if you want to look at anybody, it's on the front office to me. It's on the fact that they just did not construct a roster that was going to finish in the top half of the East. And the thing is, we had chances to. It's not like we didn't. I mean, the East was not that great this season. After Boston, you had Philly, who had Embiid missing for some time. The Knicks had injuries. The Cavs had a ton of injuries. They had times where Mitchell was missing. Garland, Mobley were missing. Allen was like the only guy who was really out there for a lot of times for them. Indiana, Tyrese Halliburton missed time. You saw Milwaukee. You're even seeing it right now with Milwaukee. They had Giannis and Dame, and these guys missed a lot of time. So we had a lot of people in our conference who were also banged up, and they also didn't have the best seasons. But because our talent level is so much lower than a lot of these other teams, it's just we kind of just finish at the middle of the pack every single year, because this team lives off of playing hard and playing smart and playing tough. But there's a certain point where like all of that runs out. You can't just live off of that. Like you have to, have talent on your roster. You can't outwork everybody every single game. Boston just has so much more talent than we do. So even if we were to work hard and we were to play hard every single game, we were to, just play at 100% and play with maximum effort, like it wouldn't really make a difference, because you're not going to win a series by doing that against a team that's so superiorly talented to you. You need the talent to match that, and we don't have that. So that's just kind of my mini rant, I guess. So make sure y'all let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. And yeah, man, I'll see you later as always.